Hello students, I am your science teacher and this is video part 2 of this chapter, that is chapter 13, sound. So in the previous video participants we have already discussed about sound and what are vibrations, how is sound produced and how sound propagates, right? So in this video part we'll discuss about characteristics of sound. So as you know that sound travels through a medium in the form of compression and rarefaction, right? So these are collectively called sound waves. Now sound waves have some characteristics properties, like if you talk about the characteristic, that is amplitude, wavelength, frequency, pitch, loudness and timbre. So firstly we'll talk about amplitude. So it is the maximum displacement of an oscillating body from its central position is called its amplitude. So it is the maximum displacement of a vibrating body from its mean position, so it is called what? Amplitude. And if you talk about the SI unit, so its SI unit is meter, right? Now I'll talk about the time period. So if we talk about the time period, then we can say the time taken from one oscillation is called time period. So student, it is the time taken by the vibrating body to complete one vibration, that is called what? Time period of vibration, right? Now if you talk about the SI unit, so its SI unit is second, right? And the position of the pendulum from one extreme position to the other extreme position and back is called oscillation, right? Now the number of oscillations per second is called frequency. The unit of frequency is hertz. Now if we talk about frequency, so it is the number of vibration of the vibrating body in 1 second, so that is called frequency. And if we talk about the SI unit, so its SI unit is hertz, right? Now if we talk about the another, that is loudness and the timbre. So if we talk about loudness and the pitch of a sound, so we can say that this loudness, the sound is depend upon the amplitude of vibration, and it is the amplitude is less, the sound is feeble. If the amplitude is more, the sound is loud, and the SI unit of loudness is decibel. Now if we talk about pitch, so it is the sound depends upon the frequency of vibration. If the frequency is less, the sound has low pitch. Example, sound of a drum, sound of an adult, etc. If the frequency is more, the sound has high pitch. Example, sound of a whistle, sound of a baby, etc. Right? So now if we talk about this pitch, so student, it is the sound waves which determine how it sounds to our ears. Like you have seen a bird chirping has a high pitch sound, right? Now where a lion roars, so it has low pitch sound, right? So pitch actually depends upon frequency, right? So high pitch sound has high frequency and low pitch sound has low frequency. Now if we talk about the loudness, so it depends on the amplitude of sound, right? So higher the amplitude, louder is the sound and it has more energy. Now if we talk about wavelength, so it is the distance from one compression to the next, or the distance between one rarefaction to the next, right? And then the last, that is timbre. So student, this timbre, it is or we can say it is the quality of a sound wave, is the property that help us to distinguish between different sound, right? Like if we talk about that, how do you determine that, make your mother's voice from your sister's, right? So now we can say that, how do you differentiate between the sound of a guitar and a keyboard? So this is possible, student, because of the timbre of the sound, right? So different objects produce sounds of different quality, right? So this is what actually a characteristics of sound. Now we'll talk about that, how we hear through our ears. See students, if we talk about this, that how do we hear through our ears, so we can say that we hear with the help of our ears, right? We hear with the help of our ears. So we hear sound through our ears. So our ears are organs that detect sound, right? Now sound enters the ear through the ear canal. It makes the eardrum to vibrate. The eardrum sends the vibration to the inner ear. From there the signal go to the brain and then we hear the sound. So student, our ear has the organ that detect the sound, and ear has three parts: outer ear, middle ear and inner ear, right? So each part of the ear serves a purpose in the task of detecting and interpretive sound, right? Now if we talk about outer ear, So, student, this outer ear consists of an ear flap, that is pinna, and approximately 2 centimeter long ear canal. Okay, so this shape of pinna is like a funnel. The outer ear has channels, surrounds, waves reach the through the ear canal and then the eardrum to the middle ear. Okay, so the eardrum is a highly stretched membrane. The eardrum is like a stretched balloon, so sound vibrations make the eardrum vibrate. Now then the comes middle ear. So if we talk about middle ear system, middle ear is an air filled cavity behind the eardrum. So it consists of three tiny interconnected bones like the hammer, anvil and stirrup. Now then comes inner ear. So student, this inner ear consists of a cochlea, the which is a semicircular canal, and the auditory nerve. So the eardrum sends vibration to the auditory nerve in inner ear, and then the auditory nerve takes the signal to the brain, and we can then hear the sound, right? So this is how our ear looks like. So it basically has three parts: outer ear, middle ear and inner ear. Okay, so when it reaches to the inner ear, when the stirrup vibrates, the waves moves to the cochlea, and when the waves move through the liquid, the hair cells transmit them to the brain through the auditory nerves. Okay, and then student, the brain then interpret the sound, right? So we must say that we must take care of our ears also, right? So you should never insert any pointed objects inside your ears to clean while cleaning, because they may damage the eardrum. So the ear should be cleaned only from outside, right? So this is what about ears. Now we'll talk about next topic, that is audible and inaudible sound. Now if we talk about audible and inaudible sound, students, so we can say that, student, there are sounds which are audible and there are some sound which are not audible. Like if we talk about audible, so it is the sound which we can hear. It has frequencies between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. And inaudible sound, it is sound which we cannot hear. It has frequencies less than 20 hertz and more than 20,000 hertz. And sound which whose frequencies are more than 20,000 hertz is called ultrasonic sounds. Some animals like dogs and can hear ultrasonic sounds. Bats produce ultrasonic sounds. So students, although it is true that all vibrating bodies produce sound waves, right? So can we hear all of them? No, because our ears can are sensitive to a range of frequencies approx 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, right? So this range is called actually audible range. Now, and the sound is called audible sound or sonic sound, right? So sound of frequencies less than or higher than this range cannot detect by humans. So such sound are called inaudible sounds, right? Now the sound of frequencies which is less than about 20 hertz, so that is called infrasonic or subsonic sound. And the sound of frequencies higher than 20,000 hertz, so that is called ultrasonic sound, right? So however, certain animals such as dogs have the ability to hear a very high pitched sound, that is ultrasonic sounds, right? Now if we talk about dolphins, so dolphins use ultrasonic sound to locate their prey, right? So that's all for today's friends. I hope you all have understood. Now the next topic we are going to discuss in our next video part. Thank you.